So the 2025 art fair season has officially begun for me. Unfortunately, living here in the Pacific Northwest, they really don't start till like June. I was just in the Edmonds art fair. Actually had a really good show. So I sold a 36 by 72 inch cityscape of Seattle. So that's always kind of exciting. And then after the show, I delivered it to the client because fortunately he lives here in Seattle. So it was a really good start of the year. So I'd like to go through my setup, my booth, my canopy, things like that. So first we'll start out with this. I have the little square payment thing. It is so easy, it's so simple. And if I remember right, you get charged a smaller fee by using the tap thing versus entering somebody's physical credit card number into their app on your phone or in your tablet. This is Bluetooth to your tablet or phone. I use a tablet, and then it's just when somebody buys something, I just type in the amount, touch their credit card, payment done, simple. So think about getting one of these or something similar. It makes taking payments really easy. So the next thing I'd like to go through is I want to go through my booth and my canopy setup. We'll jump into my computer here. And this is who I bought my canopy from. It's called Flourish. I forget where they're based out of. But you have lots of options here. You get a 10 by 10, 10 by 15, 10 by 20, and then the combo. And you can see they're just the very professional looking canopy. I see some artists have the little push up, easy up ones or something like that. They don't look as professional, but they are easy. So you gotta think about that. The biggest thing with those is if you go with one of those, you have to make sure it's tall. I've seen some artists have those, but then their clients have to duck, like to get under it, to look at their work. So make sure it's tall enough, people can just walk right in. I bought the 8-foot wall one. And what I did is I actually went through the combo units. If I come down here, so I got the 10 by 10, 10 by 15 combo. That allows me to do a 10 by 15 or a 10 by 10. It comes with 2 roofs, all the poles that you need, and then 2 extra 5-foot panels. All my art fairs last year, I ended up with a 10 by 10 because my first year, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't want to have to deal with a 10 by 15, but I wanted to have the option to go bigger. So that's why I went with that. I went with the 8-foot tall wall height. And this year at Edmonds, I did go to 10 by 15. And so it was so much better than 10 by 10. But it also depends on the size spot you get as well. Some shows only offer so many 10 by 20s or 10 by 15s. And so those may get taken up. So by having the option, like, okay, I'll just go to 10 by 10. That's the standard size of booth for everybody. But some shows have the option of bigger ones. So this just gives me the option to go bigger. It's well worth the extra money. Now my booth, I went with the Pro panels. And again, they're just very professional looking. So I went with the knockdown panel. The 7-foot, here we are. This one here, the 7-foot knockdown panel. For me, mostly because it's easier storage. I've seen a lot of people use the single panels here, like the 8-foot or the 7-foot. And I get it, so much easier setup. You only have to put one panel up at a time, and then you're done. Makes it easier versus putting the lower half up and then the upper half up. Like I said, for me, it's all about the storage problem. So just having the knockdown panels was easier. And then having little accessories, like I went with a desk this year. Nice, I think like, I don't know, 3.5 foot tall desk. It's 30 inches wide. It gives you the ability to store all your stuff in it, right? So you're at our fair, you have food, you have drinks, you have some sort of power supply, because a lot of people just have the big batteries anymore to power their lights or charge your phone or your tablet or whatever. So that all can just go inside the desk and then people can't see it. And the reason is because the desks come with, they're extra, but you can get a little desk cover here. and it's just, man, it just covers the back of it, makes it real easy. So think about doing something like that. And then you also have to think of your hanger system. I went with the cable hangers here. The advantage of the cable hangers is your booth doesn't have to be exactly level, because the little pro grippers, they slide up and down the cable. You can make your images level, and it's very simple. Downside to the cables is I have a couple acrylic prints, and if I hang those on the cables, they lean way out because they're heavy, and then the wire system on the print makes them lean out. I don't have them yet, but I just ordered the anchor hangers. You can see these ones here. It's gonna be the ability to hang my acrylics right off this little S hook, and so nothing's gonna lean out. So I'll be able to have my acrylics straight up and down, so that'll just be a much better way to go. So if you're gonna do the pro panel, think about your hanger system, maybe have a mixture of both, just for ease of use. Problem with the cables though, they get really tangled up and knotted up and caught up with each other. It's just a real hassle. I'd like to jump into some videos I took of the Edmonds Art Fair while I was there. That way you can see my booth, you can see some of the prints I have, and then I just had some that I walked around the show when I had a break. So I'll jump into those, and then I'll come back to this and I'll show you a couple other things. So we're starting day 2, the Edmonds Art Festival. Let's see. This one's 36 by 72. Let's see, this one is 30 by 45. So I went big prints this year. The economy's hit or miss right now. I think a lot of just the uncertainty. The economy's not bad, but the uncertainty is kind of keeping people from spending good money. But we'll see. Today's only day 2. We got the rest of today and then tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully get some good sales. So for those of you thinking about doing art fairs, think about printing big. So I'm not so much into the volume thing like some people are, so I'd rather just print big and just not have that many. So like this print behind me here, that's a 40 by 60. Like I said, I've got a 36 by 72, got several 30 by 45s. So think about that. I mean, I do have like some, like this one here, it's a 16 by 24, this Milky Way one here. I do have some small ones, but think about printing big. You don't need a lot of variety in your booth. You can see I'm going a lot of black and whites this year, so some color, but just kind of makes me stand out from a lot of other photographers that mostly just have color. So think about how to make yourself stand out, think about printing big, and then just see where it goes from there. So we're at the last day of the show, day 3. Looks like I sold this one. I've got the client wants to talk to me about some other prints as well. So that should go pretty good. I've got a list of names to add to my email list, so those are also potential clients. So always have some sort of, you know, way for people to write down their email address and everything. So otherwise, another beautiful day, sunny, not a cloud in the sky. So can't complain. Apparently last year this show was like hail and thunder and lightning, so that would have been miserable. We'll see how today goes, and then pack up and get ready for the next show. So that was the Edmonds Art Fair. Like I said, it's a really good show. I did sell the big print that was behind me, the cityscape. I delivered that to the client after the show. So the thing you need to think about with images like that, because they're very big, when is your next show? I was able to sell that one off the wall because my next show isn't until, it's like 3.5 weeks from now, right? And so the print shop can get me another one in time for my next show. Come July, I won't sell the big ones off my wall because I have 3 shows in 3 consecutive weekends. There's not enough time to get a new one printed. The smaller ones I can get away with because I have extra prints in the smaller sizes. So something like that I could sell off my wall and I'll have something to replace it with. But the big ones, think about when's your next show? Can you get a new one replaced? Big prints are dramatic. People really gravitate towards them. Another thing, have some sort of way to take down emails and names. I have a little booklet that I put on my desk. People can write their email, write their name, and I can slowly build up an email list of potential clients. I don't bombard them with newsletters. Usually a few weeks after the show, I'll send one little newsletter thing saying, hey, thanks for stopping by the show. Thanks for stopping by my booth. You know, whatever. And it kind of puts a little spark back in their brain that says, oh yeah, I remember this. He had really nice black and whites. I'll check out his website, see if there's something different I want to order. I'll send out a newsletter saying, hey, end of art fair season, it was a great time, blah, blah, blah. Here's a 15% off discount code for the next 3 months. You don't want to bombard people's newsletters. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about, I was on, off on vacation. Nobody cares that I was on my bike for 4 to 6 hours out on the gravel roads here east of Seattle. Nobody cares. So keep it short, keep it simple. Don't bombard them with newsletters or emails. They're just going to delete them or unsubscribe. Think about that. Have a way to get emails and names, and they're just potential future clients. When it comes to art fairs, as a photographer, there seems to be 2 types. There's ones like me. I focus on large prints and not that many of them. Some artists think more in terms of volume. So they'll have a bunch of paper prints. They'll have a handful of metal prints hanging in their booth, and they would rather sell 100 $20 to $40 prints than one $4,000 prints. I'm kind of lazy. I'd rather just sell one $4,000 print and come away from the show way ahead. That's my preference. Everybody's different. So if you're going to do art fairs, think about what you want to do in terms of sales. Art fairs are a great way to get your work out there. They are expensive to get into. The application process it's kind of annoying because there are a lot of times, like the Edmonds Art Fair, they only allow like 250 to 300 artists, but there may be 500 to 600 apply. So they're only going to allow so many photographers, only so many jewelers, only so many painters. You need to try and make yourself stand out. Last year, I got waitlisted on just about everything. This year, I'm in almost everything because of, at least I think it's because of what I changed to. Very large black and white prints. At the Edmonds Art Fair, I had the only black and white prints in the fair. So I really stood out from everybody else. And it showed. People really focused on my work. They loved seeing the black and whites. It was just something different that no other photographer at the show had. Art fairs are a great way to get your name out there, a great way to get your work seen by many potential clients. So, like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll answer them the best I can. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.